What's going on, guys? Miles here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the second episode of Media Mondays. Let's hop right into it. So this week in photography news, we've got a new lens, and actually a pretty exciting lens from a humongous optics brand, and it's pretty exciting. It's also slightly perplexing, and I don't exactly know how to feel about it. Let's just talk about it. So Zeiss, right? Zeiss. So they have a product line called the Otus line. This is like their cream of the crop optics. It doesn't get better than this for photography lenses from Zeiss. It's like the absolute best optics, best construction, best metals, best blank, 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 this, that, and the other. Best of everything. Very expensive lenses, 3, 4, 5 grand a pop for their primes, obviously, of course. You know, they're expensive. And everything in this industry is expensive. But they are a very expensive manual lens. Very expensive. The actual lens itself is the Zeiss Otus 100mm f1.4. Oh my god. I don't believe I've ever heard of / seen anywhere 100mm f1.4. That is like, now like I have a 51.4. It's actually what I'm filming on right now from Sigma. But having something double this focal length and at the same maximum aperture at this, that is nuts. That's so crazy. Like the depth of field must actually be like that, which I think is so cool and so amazing, and creativity beyond the roof with a lens like that. There's so many different things you can do with that. But my thing is, I don't know who, well, I mean, I kind of do. But at the same time, I don't know who Zeiss is really for anymore, because they are pushing these Otus lenses so hard, and, you know, fantastic optics, fantastic construction. If you want a lens that is like bar none on everything and you want the absolute best, Zeiss Otus. But I can't help but feel like in today's era, the millennial age, right, where a good 95 on up % of people these days are just taking pictures with their phones, and that's like good enough for the general population. Nobody shoots manual anymore. Nobody, and I mean nobody in the general photography community that's my age, or even just a little bit, nobody is going out there that is taking their camera out on like a Friday night to take some pictures at a park, or whatever the case may be. Nobody is taking a manual focus 100mm lens. Also, the general person can't afford this lens because it's kind of perplexing to me where they're sort of going with their plan of attack for like the next 5 years. I don't know, because they need to find a way to evolve to be able to stay relevant with me, with people my age. You know what I mean? Because the manual focus era is dead. 100% it's dead, it's gone, it's in the past. The only time you're ever gonna see people manually focusing lenses is really in filmmaking, is in cinema, is in cinematography. I manual focus lenses 100% of the time for filmmaking. But like, that's it. Like, I've never used a fully manual lens for photography ever. What are some of the things, what are some of the features that they are pushing with this new lens? What's going on? What's the deal? Zeiss is touting no color fringing. No color fringing whatsoever. And they're talking about like actual zero. And what I mean by that is sometimes in photography, if you have a lens that is of a lesser echelon than another, you know, if it's cheaper optics, right, sometimes in very, very high contrast areas of an image, you can get like a weird purple or green fringe, tint, outline on objects that are like maybe against the sun or back like against like a very bright wall, whatever the case may be. Zeiss is touting that there's none of that on this new lens, which I would absolutely love to see some tests of that because, you know. However, the biggest thing that they're pushing with this lens, and it's the thing that kind of gets my mind sort of churning the most, is that they have come out and said, hey, like, yeah, this is a 35mm lens designed specifically for 35mm full frame cameras. Cool. However, they're going like way off into the ballpark and saying, yeah, this is 35mm, but you know, we're so good and we're so good at what we do with optical design that this lens gives 35mm full frame images a medium format feel. No, that's a strong statement. And I don't know how to feel about it because medium format is here. 35mm is here. There's no comparison, okay? There just isn't. It's like night and day, I promise you. However, Zeiss, I'm sorry, I don't know if your claim is wrong or maybe just trying to push yourself too hard in the media. I don't know. I don't know if it's medium format quality, but Zeiss, you're making great optics. You don't need advice from me. Just my opinion. Leave your opinions down in the comments where they belong. Next story. Next up on the list, funny enough, we're actually talking about some more manual focus lenses. Today's show is kind of really just about lenses. So coming out of Canon from NAB this year is a brand new set of redesigned cine primes, which is so nice, so nice. So they are calling this brand new line of cine prime lenses the Sumire line of cine primes. Now Sumire is actually Japanese. Obviously you all know Canon is Japanese. So Sumire is a type of Japanese flower, I believe. Why have they released these new prime lenses? What's so special about them? What's the deal? What's the scoop? Let's get into it right now, right? So like full set of cine primes, right? Full set. So we've got a 14mm T3.1. We've got a 20 T1.5, a 24 T1.5, a 35 T1.5, a 50 T1.3, a 51.3, an 85 1.3, and a 135mm T2.2. So that's actually a really nice range. Really nice range. We've got all the way from 14 all the way up to 135mm. So it's actually pretty exciting news if you're pretty heavily invested in the Canon ecosystem as far as the C-series cameras, so on and so forth. Honestly, really any camera brand, it doesn't really matter. As long as the camera that you're using has a PL mount, because this is actually the first set of Canon cine primes to have a PL mount, which is cool. Interchangeable, so you can do EF and PL, which is great because now you can use these primes on any cinema camera out there, which is cool. They really want these lenses to compete against like lenses from ARRI, like master primes and so on and so forth, and like cinema lenses from Cooke. If you're familiar with Cooke at all, you should be. Something that I actually find very compelling and very interesting about these lenses that Canon has done with the optical design is kind of perplexing to me. What they wanted to go after with this series of primes, these lenses are going to go onto like Arri Alexa. It's gonna go onto red helium. You know what I mean? 8K, crazy sharp, crazy amounts of detail, so on and so forth. So what Canon wanted to do specifically with these lenses is strip them back a little bit. Make them, no, I don't want to say flat, just dial down that contrast a little bit, dial down that sharpness just a hair, you know what I mean? Soften up people's faces just a bit, soften up your focus fall off a bit so that things are a little more, I don't want to use the word vintage, but like, take the edge off of things a bit more, you know what I mean? I love a more washed out, something a little softer in an image, something a little more textured, something a little more nostalgic maybe. I really like that. I really like that in my photography. So I can imagine the luxury that it would be to have these lenses on set and to shoot with these and just to see, you know, what the deal is, because I think it's cool. So cool things coming from Canon out of NAB, and just cool things in general, just because Canon does cool things sometimes. So here we are with the last story for this second episode of Media Mondays, talking about something very not talked about a whole lot. I'm bad with names, right? Horrible with names. I'm also really bad with numbers. But names specifically are fleeting me right now. Because I'm trying to talk about this story and I don't know what the person's name is. I will have what I'm talking about linked down below. So go down in the description and look for that, and you will have the link and you will have all the information about it that you could ever need. But what I'm going to talk about right now is a video that I came across on a blog recently. And it was very insightful. It was very insightful because of what was being talked about. I don't know a lot of details. It was two people, interviewer and an interviewee, at a trade show, sitting down having just a human conversation. The whole conversation that they had was about the question of where does our creativity come from, right? Where does it come from? What is it that drives a painter to paint? What drives a musician to make music? What drives a singer to sing? Why do I love filmmaking? Why do I love photography? Where does it all come from? Why? You know, why? It itches a scratch that is in like the middle part of your back that you can't reach. That's what it does for me. It itches that scratch. And it's that scratch, it's that itchiness that keeps me going in all of this. Really, I bring it up just because I want to pass that question on to you. Like, leave down in the comments down below, where do you think your creativity comes from? What do you think drives your specific creativity? Now, specifically, the woman that was being interviewed, name here, cool. She was very insightful to listen to. Let's just, you know, have a conversation about creativity and life and all sorts of stuff, and art. Let's do it. I can't wait. And that is gonna do it for this second episode of Media Mondays. I hope that you enjoyed watching it just as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you did, please do not forget to leave it a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for all of my future videos. I'm having a great time so far researching and coming up with all these stories and talking to you about them. So thank you for watching. Thank you very much. But with all of that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.